I, M23. Think I'm in an abusive relationship with my F27, GF. Right off the bat, I'm typing on my phone, so spelling mistakes and grammar will be bad. So I've been dating my girlfriend for 8 months now. She's my first ever girlfriend, and she's responsible for all of my first times, first kiss, lost virginity to, etc. About her. She loves cats, loves Pokémon, very driven about things, spontaneous, not in a good way, extremely picky, has no filter. She has ADHD, depression, anxiety, she's been abused, mentally, physically, sexually. She will make things about herself and will only do things she wants to do. She has loads of tattoos and is basically a indie goth girl. All of these will come into what I want to type about. I feel that I have no control in the relationship, no say, no choice, no self-control. My self-esteem is at an all-time low. I feel that she'll be the only person I'd ever get to be with, and I really don't want that. Whenever I try to talk about my problems or feelings, she'll turn the conversation around onto herself, talking about how she feels, but will make it out like it's 10 times worse. She's the only person I regularly talk to. Her friends are the only people I see outside of work. We all work together around a college, different job roles. I've tried to make friends with other coworkers. However, my girlfriend will slag off and talk shit about the people that I do want to talk to, or go out with. She's also said that the friends that I've known for 7+ years online aren't my real friends, even though I know what they look like, where they live, how old they are. I've told of them this, and they've all said, "She's a bitch," with one of my online friends saying, "How can she judge us when she doesn't know us?" Whenever I do hang out with her and her friends, I feel sidelined, like I'm not there, only getting small bits of attention here and there throughout the night, until we go to bed. Even her own friends have said this about her, saying they're just sitting there listening to other people talk and not being able to join in. This all revolves around alcohol too. We finish work at 4, and have to start drinking at 5, until 12. My girlfriend will pour drinks for her friends, and top them up throughout the night, but she doesn't for me. I also have to drink my own things, because there isn't enough for everyone. This then makes me feel more sidelined and outcast. If I try to go on my phone, she'll ask why I am, or make snarky comments about it. For 8 hours straight, you have to be drinking, talking and listening to the same music you've heard last week, and don't think you can sing to the songs, because that's not allowed apparently. The big kicker to it all is some of the things she's done and does to me. She has stated many times she hates men. Because of this she has bitten me repeatedly and randomly. She punched me, pinned me down, pinches, flips the middle finger at me randomly, has called me a fat, I am skinny as a twig, cunt, asshole, dickhead, all without context, has caused me to have panic attacks and not give me support when I am. And the worst of them all, has wiped period blood on my belly and face. I feel dehumanized. I've tried to keep my distance for the past few weeks. I want out. But I'm scared. I feel I won't find anyone else. I feel I won't be able to find any social interaction anywhere else. The fear of missing out is crippling. My self-esteem is almost non-existent. My depression hasn't been this bad for years, usually only lasts a day, but now it lasts for weeks. My only escape is at home, but even then I have to text her 24/7. I don't know what to do. Too long did not read. I feel trapped in this relationship, and don't what to do. If you have a friend willing to help you, ask that person to call her and tell her to leave you alone. Then you can block her on everything, and if she tries to stalk you, you can call the police. But at the same time you need to be working with a therapist. It's just not reasonable for you to be this passive in your own life. You're going to need to work to get yourself up to where you can survive the world. She wiped period blood on your face? WTF? I am so sorry you're going through this. I don't know how to help. Just know you are human and valuable even if you can't feel it right now. Remove yourself completely. She is deranged clearly and taking it out on you. Like others have said, document it and go to police to get restraining order. I am sorry you're going through this, but there is resources are there. You don't want to ruin yourself because she is already ruined. You are a man and she is trying to take that from you. See if you can visit one of your internet friends or family members, friends for a little while. Text her that you're breaking up with her. Not in person because she is violent. It's not safe. When you're not at your place because she sounds like the type that will show up. Block her phone and all social media immediately after because she will try to gaslight and verbally attack you after. She has made you vulnerable to her BS, so no two-way communication. Make it clear that she is to not contact you again and have that in writing in the text. If she shows up when you get back, call the police. You are so young, you will have better opportunities for socializing and relationships in the future, I promise. You're already getting a lot of great advice. But I wanted to add another comment to say yes, you are being abused and you don't deserve the treatment you're getting from her. I sincerely hope you can get out, rebuild your self-esteem, and find someone who will truly make you happy. That person is out there, but you won't find them while being abused by your current girlfriend. My 30 male wife, 28 female, told another man not to tell me they were hanging out. I am upset that my wife told another man to not tell me they were hanging out. My stay-at-home wife, 28 female, and I, 30 male, have a mutual friend, 28 male. He comes over multiple times a week and hangs out. Lately, my wife and he have been texting consistently every day and hanging out in person, watching TV together, going shopping, going on walks together with our baby. I had an anxiety attack a few weeks back because she had told me that he is a good friend who's making her happy when I can't while she's lonely at home and I'm working, and it made me feel that the relationship is compromised. She assured me nothing was wrong, and I then started trying to do everything I can think of to fill any voids or deficiencies I have contributed to in the relationship and reduce her loneliness, like coming home from work early. I normally work 10-hour days, spending more time out of the house together, etc. Fast forward to a few days ago, I'm out and about and I FaceTime her. She says she's busy and hangs up on me mid-sentence, and it felt like she was trying to hide the fact she was talking to me. I later get home and ask her how her day was and what she was up to, and she instantly asks why I'm interrogating her. She then admits that she was hanging out with a friend, picked him up, and that she told him not to tell me that they were hanging out together because of how I'd react, but she said it in a way that felt super defensive or guilty. I had texted him earlier and he said he was at home, which means he followed what she asked him to do and continued the lie. I told her that I don't feel comfortable with this now, and that I don't want to have her get rid of her friend, but I don't think I can feel okay in a relationship like this. She responded with accusations that I don't trust her and that I'm trying to take away her friend. And that if I was more present and a better partner then she wouldn't feel the need to keep things from me because of how I react to them. I'm hurt, but can someone steer me in a direction? I really need some unbiased opinions. Also, I'll be happy to share more info if you need. Thanks. Edit. Holy smokes, did not expect this to blow up. Just to add, she also watches our baby from 7 o'clock 5 o'clock, then goes to school 5:30 10:30. I don't want to paint her initial or foundational picture as bad, as she has always been a wonderful partner and woman and mother. She's the best mother. But this specific snapshot really triggered and bothered me. I've had to medicate with antidepressants and anti-anxiety meds because I can't handle my emotions about this. Also, I'm sure I've never been the perfect partner or husband. I've got upset, said words I don't mean angrily, and I'm sure I've hurt her emotionally at times. I don't want this post to be too one-sided. Edit 2. We also don't live alone. We live with other people who consider this person their friend, family friend as well. They have hung out independently and together with everyone. She's not lazy and works super hard with the baby and school. Oh buddy, they're dating and you're just paying the bills. You tell her damn right you don't trust her. That's what happens when people conspire with each other to lie to me. This friendship needs to end 100%, that is on her, don't let her bullshit and twist this on you. You need to be very clear with her what is at stake with these games she is playing. She's cheating and it's time for you to find a new friend. And that if I was more present and a better partner then she wouldn't feel the need to keep things from me because of how I react to them. How dare you go to work and bring home the money to provide for your family? I'd tell her, fine. Then you go and work 50 weeks while I chill at home hanging out with friends. I guess I'd have to cheat on you then, because you're such a bad partner. No kids? Dump her. Kids? Dump her. I, 32M, betrayed my wife, 27F, and she doesn't know if she can forgive me. I, 32M, betrayed my wife, 27F, and she doesn't know if she can forgive me. This was about a year and a half ago. My wife had started acting different. She was posting on social media constantly, talking about how she was going to change the world and friend requesting everyone online. She wasn't acting like herself. One of my wife's friends reached out to me and expressed her concern. We both agreed that we were worried about her. The friend said something about a number you can call to have a therapist come out to your house. I thought it would be good for my wife to talk to someone to make sure she was okay. The friend called the number but were never able to get someone to come. Fast forward to the next week and my wife is still acting the same. I was at work and I get notified out of the blue that my wife is being sent for a mandatory psych ward visit. She was only there the minimum 72 hours, but this visit has really caused my wife a lot of trauma because they barged into the house and had to grab her to get her to comply, and at the hospital they had to sedate her since she wasn't cooperating. Sometime after this happened, my wife asked to see my phone so we could order food. I gave it to her and next thing I know she's reading the texts I had sent to her friend when I was worried about her. My wife ended up taking screenshots of the conversation and sending them to her phone. We now seem to get into arguments almost every week about how I betrayed her, how it's my fault she got sent to a psych ward, how she doesn't know if she can ever forgive me, and how she can't trust me anymore. She also talks about how she's regressed and can't do anything for herself anymore because I offered to do everything for her. I realize now that it was a mistake, but at the time I just wanted to help her as much as possible so she had space to heal and time to help herself feel better. In these arguments she'll sometimes tell me she doesn't love me anymore, that she wants to divorce me, or that she wishes she could leave me. A lot of the time she will apologize later for being so mean. The both of us know she should have never been sent to a psych ward and I feel so much remorse for what happened. I know now I should have just talked to her about my concerns instead of talking to her friend. She has a lot of trauma and PTSD because of everything that happened and I don't know how to make things right. I've suggested couples therapy a few times and she's usually very against it, but recently she did say if I found a therapist for myself she would go to some sessions. I really don't know what else to do. The discussions we get into are really stressful and no matter how many times we talk it doesn't make things anything better. Our relationship is in a very bad spot and it feels like a constant 1 step forward and 2 steps back. Any advice is appreciated. Too long did not read. I got my wife sent to a psych ward and she can't bring herself to forgive me. Your wife was acting weird on social media. You and/or her friend made a phone call, and as a result, she was forcibly taken from her home and put into a mental institution? What? This sounds like a 1940s Bugs Bunny episode with the guys in the white coats and the big nets. I'm genuinely confused about why you wanted to set up a home therapy visit behind her back in the first place. While personality changes can be concerning, none of the behavior you mention sounds harmful or even particularly unusual. Why were you so concerned? Did you ever speak directly to your wife and ask if she was okay or if she needed to talk to someone? Ambushing her with a therapist is a very extreme step and I can't totally reconcile it with the preceding behavior. Is the behavior gone now? You don't mention if any of the signs that were concerning to you are still present. I have nothing but questions. Who put her on a 5,150 hold and what behaviors of hers were so severe that was warranted? She thinks she was going through psychosis, so is she on meds and seeing a mental health provider now? What was actually the issue? You mention her acting weird on social media and don't expand on this. You plotting behind her back to have a therapist come to your house was honestly bad enough, but what you did led to her basically getting kidnapped and drugged. I wouldn't be surprised if she never forgave you. Why the fuck couldn't you just ask her how she's feeling and encourage her to get help on her own if necessary? You took away her agency and I can't imagine how helpless and out of control she felt when these people came and snatched her. How awful. I doubt there's any coming back from that. Nothing you mentioned in her change of behavior warranted a mandatory psychiatric hold. You can try couples therapy, but I'd stay realistic about the chances of this working out long term. Being held in a psych ward is traumatic and then finding out your husband is the reason you're in there is a hard pill to swallow. Would you be able to forgive your wife if she did this to you? Would you be able to trust her? She was locked up in a bloody psych ward because of you. Her emotions will be all over the place now. How is she meant to come back from this knowing her husband went behind her back and betrayed her? My M18 girlfriend, F19, still cries about how her ex dumped her 2 years ago. What do I do? So we've been together for half a year and aside from some fighting it's been great and we are in real love with each other. However, every time we are about to have sex she becomes sad or even cries. At first she didn't tell me what it was until I insisted that she should tell me. Her answer was that one of her exes, she broke up with him 2 years ago, dumped her because she didn't want to have sex with him. She says that she doesn't cry about him. She just still feels used and can't forgive him. I myself can't really stand discussions and thoughts about her exes. I didn't have any experience before her, and the idea of her being intimate with someone else makes me feel so bad. Sometimes I even start shaking uncontrollably and can't stand talking about all this. However, she has told me a lot of things about her exes. I'm curious and ask stupid questions. And I'm trying my best to get over my stupid thoughts that make me sick. But I'm not sure if I can get over her thinking every day about how bad her ex was and how he used her and spent her time, and I don't even know if I should. I love her a lot and I mean it. I feel like she is the world to me and I can't imagine not being with her, whether you believe it or not. We are very close to each other and even live together. I know we maybe rush things a bit, but we like each other's company and wouldn't mind being with each other all day. Should I be worried? I know deep inside that all these things mean that she is not over him yet. She also had a relationship before me and after this guy. She told me that the second relationship fell apart due to her first and that she was very toxic to him without even noticing it. What should I do? I don't want to break up with her, but maybe that's the best for both of us. Maybe she isn't ready to be in a relationship. Every time we get intimate she starts crying, and now that I know why, I feel betrayed. I'm there all for her, trying to make her feel as good as I can. Thinking that we are making love, and she thinks about how her ex was a jerk and that he used her for sex. I know I'm probably saying the same stuff over and over, but I can't keep my thoughts straight, and all I want is to forget everything she told me about her and her ex. TLDR. My girlfriend, 6 months together, still cries every time we are about to have sex about how her ex left her 2 years ago. She insists that she doesn't cry about him, but for the way she still feels to this day. However, she still thinks about it daily. Also, I'm jealous and can't stand convos about exes. I'm trying my best to get over her past, but that might be too much. What should I do? I feel like if I lose her, I'll lose myself too. I'm really worried about what all this crying might mean. Is she over him? Please help us. If you want to know what is the best for you, it would be to leave her. Do not date people that are not over their exes. It isn't worth it. She's probably not even into sex, and every time you initiate she cries because she feels like if she doesn't do it with you, you'll dump her too. She needs therapy, and so do you for reacting the way you do about her past. She was dumped because she wouldn't have sex with him. That can be traumatizing. It's not about the ex specifically. But you're 19. If you're unhappy, then break up. Perhaps she has CPTSD from that relationship. In any case, she needs therapy. You leave. Then she can cry about two people leaving her.